What is going on, Guardians, and welcome back to another Destiny gameplay video. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the one and only Thorn. Yes, the Thorn. So, I've been sort of at a disadvantage lately when I've been playing some sweats because I don't have a Thorn. I haven't had a Thorn since year 1. So I recently, just 2 days ago, I went and bought one from the kiosk. I leveled it up, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to take it into Classic 3v3 and maybe into a couple of sweats and just see how it performs. You know, I haven't used this thing in forever, and I just wanted to get a read on it and kind of compare it apples to apples to my legendary hand cannons that I'm so used to using. So this video is about my verdict, kind of comparing and contrasting the two categories and kind of where I land and how I feel. So Thorn, as far as Thorn is, as far as Thorn goes, I think there's a difference between something being annoying and something being OP. I think that's a really important distinction to make. I think there are a lot of things in this game that are a little bit annoying to die by, but not necessarily overpowered. Now, Thorn is maybe a little bit teetering on that balance as to whether or not it's OP or whether or not it's just annoying and powerful. And I guess where I would land is I would say that it is annoying and powerful, but not necessarily broken. So it definitely used to be, but I think it's in a lot better spot right now. With Thorn, the thing is, it's going to do about 53 to the body and about 79 to the head. Now that could change depending on what range you're at, but this thing has a pretty stinking good range value on it with Send It, and that's what people use. They use Send It in the middle tree on this thing, which actually in year 1, Send It was banned on Thorn. It was too consistent and was able to 3-tap people way too easily, or even 2-tap people with the dot damage if you were to get 2 headshots. So they changed that. It is a little bit different now. That doesn't work anymore. So that, I think, even things out. Now you're allowed to use Send It and maximize your range on the gun. So a lot of people, what they will do in sweats is they will couple Thorn with a shotgun. So your two main builds are Thorn shotgun or Last Word sniper. Sometimes people will, depending on the map, switch that combination up a little bit, maybe use Thorn with a sniper on shorts of time, something like that. But for the most part, you're going to see those two loadouts are the two most popular ways to play in the competitive community. So that's why people use it. Thorn has a really great range on it compared to the Last Word. So you make up, you've got a longer range primary with a shotgun, your close range secondary, or you've got your Last Word close range primary with your sniper long range secondary. Does that make sense? So here's my thing. Now, my legendary hand cannons, they do roughly 57 to the body and like 86 to the head. So you can 3-tap people more regularly with a legendary hand cannon than you can with Thorn, in my opinion, if your shots are accurate. So that's why you've actually seen people start to, in the competitive community, they're starting to try and farm and look for God-rolled legendary hand cannons like an Eaz Luna, because Eaz Luna has the best base stats, arguably the best base stats of any legendary hand cannon in the game right now. So they're looking for a God-rolled Eaz Luna, and some guys actually, if you were paying attention, you would have seen in the tournament, some guys actually borrowed other people's accounts to play in the tournament who had God-rolled Eaz Lunas, because maybe that person's RNG wasn't that great and they didn't have one on their characters, so they wanted one going into a tournament, and so they borrow someone else's account who was lucky enough to get that God-rolled Eaz Luna. So that's a really interesting sort of dynamic, because they can more consistently 3-tap if you get the perfect rolls, like rangefinder, maybe even luck in the chamber people like, because you can occasionally 2-tap. So I actually fall off the log. I ended up putting my Thorn away. I was like, I don't like this thing that much. Yeah, you have some nice abilities like being able to see where your opponent moves after you shoot them. If they run for cover, you can see a couple of 2 damage ticks that sort of indicate where they went next. But for me and my taste, I'm going to fall off the log and say, you know what, legendary hand cannons that have a really good roll, that's my preference. You can get some other mix and match, some other kinds of perks on them that you can't get with Thorn. So if I had to pick one or the other, I would say I'm going to fall off the log and say I prefer my legendary hand cannons over Thorn. You probably won't see me use one very much. because I've got a lot of great hand cannons that are legendaries and free me up to use a different exotic in my loadout. So that's just my opinion, take it or leave it. I'd love to hear, what are your thoughts on Thorn? Do you think it's broken? Do you think it's imbalanced? Do you think it's OP? Or do you think it's in a good spot? Like I said, I think it's annoying, but not necessarily broken. So hopefully you enjoyed some of the gameplay, guys, and I'll catch you in the Crucible.